Donald Trump suffered multiple different humiliations at the hands of his own Republican Party this week when Republicans in the House of Representatives voted to nullify one of his executive orders from back in March. And of course, Republicans in the state of Indiana once again struck down his proposed gerrymandered new district map. So, Trump gets shut down in Washington, D.C. He gets shut down in Indiana by a Republican-controlled Senate where Republicans had an advantage of 40-10. And he still couldn't get that gerrymandered map passed. Now, the executive order, the issue that took place in Washington, D.C., the one that was overturned was one Donald Trump signed in March that basically restricts all federal employees from engaging in any form of collective bargaining. In other words, it was an attack on the rights of federal workers. You know, the people Trump claims to care so much about. Like, I care about the plight of the average person, right? And he's like, no, you guys can't get together and demand better things from your jobs. So a direct attack on American labor. And a group of Republicans, 13 of them, voted with all of the Democrats to strike it down. That is remarkable. Now, technically, of course, the executive order is not yet struck down. This was actually a vote on the discharge petition to bring the legislation to strike it down to a full House vote. But if they're willing to break on the discharge petition, there's a strong likelihood that they will break on the legislation and go with the Democrats. Either way, those are some pretty major cracks in Donald Trump's base. That's not a good sign. And of course, over in Indiana, where the Republican-controlled Senate voted down the new gerrymandered district map, not for the first time, but for the second time. And again, Republicans had a 40-10 advantage in that Senate. Okay, they had the numbers. They easily could have done it. But they have made it clear repeatedly to Donald Trump, we are not going to do this. We are not going to gerrymander our state in the middle of a decade just to maybe pick up 1 or 2 seats, but also piss off enough voters that we may lose more seats than we would gain. Not gonna happen. And according to the lawmakers themselves, they literally said that to Donald Trump. He had been calling them, begging them to do this, and they told him on the phone, we're not going to do it, man. All of these Republicans across the country now are starting to realize this guy can't do anything to us. He may go out there and threaten these punishments like he does against the Democratic-run states, like I'm going to withhold federal funding. The courts are striking that stuff down, so it's not a real threat. And other than that, he can't do anything. He has no actual power over these people, and every day a few more of them are waking up and realizing that fact. They're not going to bow down to this mad wannabe tyrant when they don't have to. And the more this happens, which we're getting more and more stories about this constantly, the more it happens, the more it snowballs. You start to see more and more and more of this. You know, about a week ago, I talked about the fact that the analysts were saying that Republicans were going to start breaking with Trump and basically voting against him once primary season was over. But now it doesn't even look like we have to wait for primary season to be over. It's literally happening right now. Republicans know that Trump can't hurt them, and that is what has taken away all of his power. Thanks for watching, and if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, and do not forget to like and comment and share widely among your friends.